Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Wyatt Staff. I'm a professional life coach and mentor. If you want to hire me for one-on-one sessions, you can do so down in the description below. Let's answer one of your questions off of Instagram. You briefly mentioned that you don't listen to the same kind of music anymore due to the negative energy. What kind of music, bands, artists, genres do you listen to these days that has had a positive impact on your psyche? Okay, Kristen, thanks for the question. You briefly mentioned that you don't listen to the same kind of music. That's true. I do not listen to metalcore. I do not listen to punk rock. A lot of the stuff that I grew up on, I don't listen to anymore. I imagine a lot of you can say the same. Maybe you came from the Wyatt Staff channel and you could not say the same. I understand both perspectives very well. So what changed, right? These bands had a negative impact on your psyche. Yeah, I will definitely say that that's the case for me, but here's the thing about it is like, I think that whatever we hold on to, everything in this world, everything in our experience is vibrating, right? Science, everything is vibrating. Real simple, okay. That being said, right? The vibration of things, what the things are and the way they're vibrating, influences us. It's not possible for that not to be the case. We're 75% water, all right? If you take water and you put it next to a sound bowl and you rotate the sound bowl and you create sound with that bowl, the water will be affected, right? And if you change the sound bowl, you change the resonance, you change the frequency, the water will be affected in a different way, okay? So 75% of you is made out of water, and you can see very clearly in the videos that I'm playing on screen here that water is changed by sound. Fact. Right? We don't have to get esoteric, we don't have to get spiritual, we don't have to get religious. We just can look at, oh look, there's a sound bowl, that's a tone, that's a frequency, and look how it's affecting that water, okay? Now the same can be said for everything in everything else as well. Why? Because light is a vibration, just like sound is a vibration. Our eyes, we take in the light and the colors. Our ears, we take in the sounds, okay? Our tongue, we take in the taste. And our nose, we take in and all of those are just different vibrations, okay? Our skin, we take in the textures, we've experienced the matter, again, another vibration. So everything is just vibrating at a different frequency, all right? Different composition of frequencies, okay? When we have a really nice meal, like if we have the most gourmet, delicious meal, we're like, wow, that was like the best meal of my life. We are enjoying the balance of the frequencies. We are enjoying the ensemble. We listen to a good piece of music. It doesn't matter what your taste is. We'll talk about that more here in a second. But if you listen to like Bach, or you listen to Katy Perry, or you listen to Ask Alexandria, or it does not matter. Like Lamb of God, I don't care, anything. You're experiencing a composition of frequencies that come together to create a piece of art. If you look at a room that is very well put together, like you have like an interior designer that really knows their stuff and they put together the room, everything's accounted for. What colors complement what the palette is, like not too many colors, not too little colors, right? The right objects in the right place, okay? That's organizing frequency in a way that your body, your eyes, right? A few senses are engaged to experience the ensemble of frequencies in a way in which it feels balanced, it feels orderly, it feels good for you, for us, all right? Now, depending on what somebody holds on to within themselves, okay, on an emotional level, all right, and a psyche level, but those are very connected, okay, you are going to be attracted to different ensembles, different collections of frequency, okay? That's very, very simple to understand, all right? We call this vibe. Like nowadays in the spiritual community, or if you're like, you're gonna hear it amongst the hipsters at the coffee shop, yo, the vibe is just off in here, right? You're gonna hear that expression. I imagine most of you watching this channel probably have used that before. That's just not my vibe, okay? What does that mean when it's not my vibe? We're saying that's not my vibration. That's not my frequency. That's not my collection of frequencies. Okay, so when we go into a place like a coffee shop or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like me here on this roof right now, if I was to sit in this space and feel unwell, I could say this isn't my vibe. Sitting up here on this roof with the birds in the background and some trees, we got some plants next to me. Everything's covered in this like beautiful Moroccan tiles. We got some stained glass. Like this is definitely my vibe personally right now. I feel great in this space, and I think the space is enjoying having me in it as a part of this ensemble. If I was to bring a bunch of people up here, okay, and they all match this vibe, then we could all vibe out together and feel the frequencies together, okay? All right. So that's why that's where music sits, right? Like when you hold on to certain things, like when I was holding on to certain vibrations in myself in the form of memory. You know, we can label the memory whatever we want. We can call it trauma, sure, okay? In the form of traumas, in the form of difficult emotions connected to traumas that manifest in different ways, whatever, right? You could be holding on to, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're holding on to, you are going to comfortably be able to match frequencies with things that are on that vibration. So for me, when I was holding on to a lot of heavier, denser emotions, all right, lower vibratorial emotions, there's actually a scale that measures the vibration of emotions, and you can correlate this to colors too. Okay, when I was holding on to a lot of heavier or darker, not darker, but heavier emotions, the dark stuff, that's just our association with that. We don't need to necessarily call heavier emotions darker, okay? Heavier emotions can be extremely beautiful. Like the heaviest of vibration is planet Earth, okay? Like the low density energies, at the end of the day, is like grounding. It's the mother, okay? So it doesn't have to be dark because we're in lower vibration, all right? Okay, so when I was holding on to lower, heavier vibrations, I appreciated music that was in a lower, heavier tuning, right? Like music in metal and punk rock nowadays is all drop tuned. Like we lower the frequency, we lower like the key of the frequency, we lower as soon as you step into those genres. Right? Like right out the gate, boom, we lower it, okay? And then we incorporate distortion, we incorporate like all of these elements in those styles of music that sit really well in ensembles, in spaces that are also resonate really well with heavier emotions, all right? Okay, so that's why nowadays, because of what I've done, the work I've done to let go of traumas, misunderstandings, to let go of heavier emotions that I was holding on to, because of all of this letting go I've done, this cleansing, this purifying I've done through different modalities, you've seen the journeys. Because of that, now I don't have inside of me the same sort of substance that wants to be in a space that's of a certain frequency. So now I spend time in spaces of a different frequency, plain and simple, okay? That essentially. Now what that frequency looks like, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Like that actually changes based on what country I'm in and how I'm feeling. Like maybe sometimes I do have some heavier energies and I really would like to match those. So occasionally I'll throw on a Bring Me the Horizon song. So I guess it's not never that I'd listen to metal or punk rock. Sometimes I throw on some of the artists that really stuck with me sometimes. But it's definitely like nothing like what it used to be. Because what it used to be in the past was like every moment of every day I had on certain bands. Like if you're from the Wise Staff channel, you can resonate with that. That's probably, I imagine that's probably been part of your journey too, to have a phase where you just have to listen to this music all the time, every day. And it just is like total therapy for you, okay? There's this ashram in southern India that I wanted to go to. I was gonna apply for and do like this long yoga teacher training at this ashram. It didn't work out in the end. My plans changed and where life took me didn't take me to this ashram. I didn't even end up applying at the end of the day. But at one point in time, I was really interested in this one specific ashram, okay? And when I was interested in that ashram, I went online and looked up like testimonials of other people who have attended this ashram and what it took to actually get accepted into their yoga programs, because it's not something you can just like pay for and go. You actually have to fill out an application and get accepted into this community, okay? So one of the interesting videos I came across when looking at this ashram was a man who said he had been denied access. Like he had been told, sorry, after your application, we don't feel like you're a good fit for our vibe, right? Like we get frequencies from your application that don't resonate well with the frequencies that we hold in this space, right? Like, I'm sure that's not how it was said, but that's like just reference earlier in the video, you know, that's a way in which we can understand that, okay? I like to explain it in that way too, and work with it in that way, because that doesn't have like bias and labels and judgments and all of these like, this nonsense, this like language nonsense that we apply to things sometimes. It can just be as simple as those frequencies don't work together. And that can be like a scientific fact. And that takes the emotionality out of it at times. Okay, got off topic there. Let's go back to the testimonial video that I'm referencing. All right, so this guy said, I applied for the ashram and I didn't get accepted. And what was interesting about what they recommended him to do following that rejection was they said to him, here are a collection of pieces of music, and they were just like frequencies. It was like simple stuff. Here's a collection of pieces of music. Some of them had some chanting in it, but it was all like very specific pieces of music that we recommend you listen to for the next year. reapply next year, and we'll see where you're at in your journey, and we'll see where you're at in your energy, and we'll see if that's a good fit for us. That right there to me is a real good example of just how powerful sound can be to heal, to alter, to change, to manipulate, to recreate. They saw that he wanted to be a part of their community. They didn't feel like he was a good fit. So to help him become something that can fit into that, they said, jam these tracks, play these all the time around the clock as much as you can, and check back in a year, and we'll see if you can come in, if we feel like you'll be a better fit, an appropriate resonance to be incorporated into our ensemble. Okay, like, wow, right? Like, that to me right there is like an example of a level of awareness that is so profound when it comes to using sound to heal, to, right, change frequency, match frequency, like, right? So we can, based on what we listen to, based on the spaces we put ourselves in, based on the scents we smell, like there are sacred scents, that's an example of, okay, all of these things, the things we look at, all these things, by matching resonance with certain energies, we can then shift and start to heal and release heavier, denser energies within ourselves. Okay, I made a huge jump in context there because I just took you guys like from one idea to the last, but that's essentially where we would go. And there's like a whole bridge in between why that works, but we'll talk about that in a later video. I hope all this made sense. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, lastly, just before I go, if you want one-on-one sessions, wystab.com down in the description. All right, thank you so much. See you in the next video.